Why? We don't know. Nobody done field work. Why they have gone? Probably they might feeling like you remember the old names of Pan Am and even TWA, big companies. They were really big ones, and even then, even recently Kingfisher. Many more companies have just vanished from the board at all. And I think we have got to be creative. We have to keep on changing, bringing new product services, and innovation. Why is it become a very important buzzword these days, and everybody talking about it. And when you talk about innovation, it means you bring about a change in the new product, you bring change in the new design of the product, or maybe process of making, manufacturing, or service which you are offering. And then you are talking about all the marketing technology. I'm using the technology especially because the technique has gone beyond this that now. And fourth is the within the organization structure that you bring in. So all the four components, as per the Oslo definition, are become key uh, factors for the growth and development of an enterprise, whether they are large, medium, small, or tiny, or micro enterprise. This has happened, and I think I think recently I want to give you a small example of you have Musk, Elon Musk. Almost everybody has heard his name. He is the man who has brought the electric car. Actually, let me tell you, last year when I went to US and my niece was driving this electric car, and she told me, Uncle Ji, uh, ever since we bought this car, we have not paid electric bill or we have not paid the gone to a gas station. He says that at night I plug in, and in the morning the car charge I go around the whole way for my work, and evening again do the same thing. Apart from the this Elon Musk car, electric car they bought, what they have done is also they in the house in Phoenix they have put on the roof the electric this solar cells, and the whole roof is covered with that. So enough power is being generated, so they are not paying any bill for the electricity or for the house or for the charging of the car. They say we are not going to buy a second car now. So that's the thing. There was a time people were saying, who's going to buy electric car? How are they going to charge? I was told in western part of USA, like in California and other eastern western states, even Washington or this Oregon, where I went to school. The all there are a lot of charging stations. Within a short time, you can charge your car. It charges reasonable amount of money. So there's no dearth. But in central part of USA, there's a little problem of, but it is coming up, catching up very fast. I can tell you that. And this Elon Musk, basically, he is a South African. He was born there, of a South African father and Canadian mother. And he found the limited opportunities here. So he left and moved to Canada. There also he thought not enough. Then he moved to USA. He went to Philadelphia, Elon Musk. Then he went to Stanford. While studying, he left. He said, "No, I want to go into this," and he set on the cars for electric cars. And let me tell you, recently his company has been valuated for $1 trillion. $1 trillion. He is one of few person where we can boast of his own company, which is $1 trillion. And the you can say the he has been declared Financial Times, published in London, is the biggest business paper in Europe, and he's been given the now treated as a Person of the Year award. He has been given an award. This was done by Times some time ago, and now uh, this Financial Times had done it. So apparently, you see, he brought a change in the complete scenario of vehicles. Now I think the younger people are more to buy the electric vehicles than the higher age group generation. Probably it's a little costly. Are you hearing me?
I can hear you, sir, but I'm not able to see you. There's a
Okay,
camera.
it's a little costly,
Yeah.
but the people make it. Yeah, that's what is required. So I was that why I give you the example of Tesla, so that the people know this car and that's happening and that the change. Even I was fortunate to attend recently the climate change conference held in Glasgow, 31st of October to 14th or 15th of November. And I attended that conference total on behalf of World Association of Small Medium Enterprises, where I'm the vice president and director. And I think the world is really worried about climate change, and they think they have brought some resolutions how to bring about change in the climate. Of course, it will take time. They're targeting by 2050, but at least half of the gases need to be taken care of by 2030. But it may not happen because the developing country want money, whereas the developed country is still with tight-fisted on as far as money is concerned. Anyway, that part is a separate issue completely. We focus on our innovation, which is, I feel, is the key to success for the enterprises, small enterprises, medium enterprises, and large enterprises. And I think while we are talking this issue, will not I forget COVID-19, which has affected, and micro, small, medium enterprises have been badly affected. More micro and small enterprises. Many micro enterprises have closed down, people gone home in the villages and so on. Whereas medium are less affected. This is what we found from our fieldwork and also our study. But we would like to thank the government. They came up with some packages. One of the package they came, they give it money. They increase the limit of the enterprises by 20%. And what were the bankers did? Whatever the amount of sanctioned funds were there for an enterprise, they increased by 20%. So they cover their own target for a plus the enterprise got relief. However, the enterprises, micro level enterprises, very small enterprises, who had no limits, they were badly affected. They have been no case. There have been nothing done for them. I think I've been advocating we should do something for them and give them some kind of credit or whatever the case may be, or some kind of equity support, something of that kind. And uh, also, we had found from our field work that the creative or enterprises who are innovative, they will grow, and the one who don't, they will not grow. We recently did a study, a comprehensive study on the machinery manufacturers in the area of plastics, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, and machine tools. These are four sectors. And we did all over the country. We picked up places where a little bit more creative. Like, for example, in South Coimbatore and Chennai belt. Then West, we picked up Pune and Bombay belt. And then here in Ahmedabad, in Gujarat, this Ahmedabad, Rajkot, Baroda, this is the area we picked up. Then in the north, we picked up National Capital Region as well as Ludhiana, where a lot of machines are made, a machine tool particularly. And then the east also we picked up Guwahati, east and northeast. So like this, so we did a comprehensive study. Again, our output was that all those companies who have been creative, innovative, they were growing. The many were shut down. We did a case study for them also for this. I think this is a lesson we learned that we have to continue uh, working on this area so that we can help the small, medium enterprises to grow. And I would also like to come back to the I mentioned a little while ago that in the Fortune 500 companies, a lot of companies had closed down. And I want to bring you back on that thing. Oh yes, I want to give you a good example of a very young girl, Kylie Jenner. Those who are her, she's a model. She became a, uh billionaire at the age of 22. Very interesting. And if you permit me, I'll give a small example how she picked up. She's a model in US, a very popular model. And when she went for a date, the her boyfriend didn't kiss her. And pardon my telling you this part, but this is a fact. And he said, "You're not kissable because your lips are too small." So she's crying, but she didn't give up. When she came back home, started thinking about it. Then what she did was she started applying lip liner along with lipstick. And then what she did was that she said, "Let me do the business." She came in with a package of lipstick with lip liner with some various kind of shades, and she got 15,000 this combination of lipstick and lip liner manufactured from outside and put it on social media. Do you know, within a couple of days, all the stock was sold out because she came near the Christmas time and this was all gone. Then she came up with, in US and many other places, two events are very important. Number one, Christmas New Year Eve, and then Mother's Day. The particular girls, ladies, and they travel all the way to meet the mother and have day lunch with them or give gifts to them. That kind of thing is very popular. Not so much in our country, but Western part is very popular. So every time she come up with a new product, and at the age of, I told you, 22, and she became a billionaire. Earlier, Facebook promoter Mark Zuckerberg was a billionaire at the age of 23, but this girl beaten him. Now, last year, there was another gentleman called Russell. He became billionaire through only creative products. And he, apart from creative products, he joined hand with another company, SPAC. He merged and went to the stock exchange in the US, Nasdaq, and there with the what the shares and equity or stock is sold, they he became billionaire. So like these people have made billions, like these young people. A lot of creative ideas are coming. I would also like to give you a small thing that the challenges are not very very vast. I mentioned to you earlier that I'm repeating that innovation means anything creative. In fact, All India Management Association, where I was the president, they have come out with an award 14 years ago called IMA, All India Management Association, Dr. J.S. Juneja Award for Creativity Innovation. If it give every year is given on its foundation day on the 21st of February, and next February again they have made the announcement, they invited application, and a lot of people and some people will be getting the award on this case. Uh, I would like to also tell you at this juncture that the lifespan of a product is going down. They said in 1950 the lifespan of a product was about 60 years. Then in 1980 it became 30 years. In 2002, at 12, it is 12 years. Sorry, 20 years. They say by the year 2027, it will become 12 years. In other words, the lifespan of a product will keep on changing. Now, people are trying to catch fast on electric cars. Almost every person in India, particularly two-wheelers, sale in electric vehicles, or that means motorcycles and scooter, is going the first electric one. So I think we have to figure out that how to be creative, innovative, and the survival of a company will be only through innovation. There is no other way out, absolutely. And in fact, we have written a book also on this issue. So, if you see, this is a innovation key to success for enterprises. I hope you can see it. This is published by All India Management Association. And we find that there are a lot of success stories there. Even the award I was telling about, it is covered. The success stories of several award winners are covered in this book. Maybe some people like to look at it and read if they get interested to innovation. And government has also appointed about 2 years ago an expert committee. I was assured with it. It was headed one-man expert committee on bringing policy changes in the area of SMEs, MSMEs. Mr. Prabhat Kumar, who is an old friend, he was the cabinet secretary earlier. He headed the committee. And so the Prabhat Kumar committee recommended the government should have a corpus of at least 1,000 crore initially to encourage innovation among MSMEs. 1,000 crore. The proposal pending with the government and to create an innovation fund. Because we found in our studies rather, that sometimes people are having innovation. They say at the jugaad stage. You understand what jugaad? Because it is now covered in the Oxford Dictionary, Oxford Concise Dictionary, covered. Sorry, just a jugaad. You need your own technique to develop a product or knowledge and apply it for a service. So I think that if a fund is available, then it will bring change in the many companies, and we should benefit. But nevertheless, this shouldn't discourage anybody from coming with an innovative product, but they should be able to come out with a product, service. Uh, Although, I would like to say here that micro, small, medium enterprises are the highest job creator after agriculture. So therefore, this sector has to be nurtured. People have to be encouraged. People have to be trained in entrepreneurship, enterprise, so that they can set up their own enterprises with the creative products, with the creative ideas. And I can already give you some examples. And in fact, I'm talking about entrepreneurship and enterprise development. In fact, IMA, I we established a program for African students. There are about 20,000 African students studying in India. If there's a job that after their studies finish in India, they should go back home, but they don't look for a job. They get an idea in the sky because our country is very fertile in enterprise development, very fertile. I covered many countries, a lot in Africa, so I find. So it was a motivation for them to brought to 2 day program that they when they go back home, under the title, "Don't hunt for the job, be your own boss." Don't hunt for the don't hunt for the job, be your own boss. And they were very encouraged. Even a lot of ideas we gave them what to do when they go back to their own country, what kind of enterprises they could set up. And that. I think then our conference, the present economy we are working on, they're addressing a $5 trillion economy. 5 trillion. We have estimated the contribution of MSMEs is about 30%, all put together. And that become 1 trillion approximately dollar. Now, if we have to achieve that 30%, if you achieve in 5 years' time to become a $5 trillion economy, the MSMEs have to double its productivity, whether it's service or industry, double it. So for doubling mean it has to grow at the rate of 40% instead of 30%, and then it becomes a $2 trillion MSME economy contribution to our country, India, Bharat. So I think we have long road to succeed, and this can be done only through innovation and marketing of products. And young people, young entrepreneurs to play a major role in this field. So I think I would like to uh, close here, but before doing it, the end of uh, the innovation is not just services or what do you call the product or manufacturing. It also are kind of social uh, enterprise. I want to give you a quick example. There is in Jaipur, there's a company car that organization, company, sorry, Jaipur Foot. They have started providing wooden, limbs, artificial limbs, to the people who are free of charge. In fact, when they come to Jaipur, they are given board or lodging also there. I have visited that place because the chief is the Mr. D.R. Mata. He is the director on the board of our company, NSIC. And also, he was deputy governor of the bank. But I think the only social work, this particular area I visited that, I was very impressed that Jaipur Food is doing. So I will repeat, the people who are they have made the arrangement for stay, and they wooden, what do you call the uh, foot, what do you call the artificial limb is given to them, then asked them to practice before they are sent back home. Now, when I was talking to Professor Jan, Taloknath Jan, there is a management institute there. He said in one of my MBA classes, one young man, he came to me. He says, "Sir, I want to be an entrepreneur. I don't want to go for a corporate job." And I said, "What do you do?" He says, "I want to uh, create because people have their long wait in Jaipur food for creating artificial limb because it takes time to make accordingly." He said, "I want to create through with plastics or some other polymers so that more artificial limb can produce which will fit them. So I want to get that." So he got into the business. What do you call it? It is social entrepreneurship. So why give you this example? Because it is not creativity and innovation doesn't end with manufacturing or doesn't end with providing a travel agency or service enterprise. It's a social enterprise. And uh, I find the little better, well-to-do young people who are very good at business, they don't want to go to jobs. What they do is they think for the country, for the social atmosphere, and so therefore come up with the ideas which will help the society, our country as such. So I thought I give you the example of social entrepreneurship apart from others which we have talked about. And with that, I like to close and thank the organizers for inviting me to speak on this. I hope this some people may benefit, and I would like to also thank you, madam, and other people here. But two things I want to say before you close. Number one, concluding that they should, all those people who are doing some creative work, they should apply for the award. I'm a Dr. GSG award to all India Management Association. It is on the net. And also about the book, which I told you, may like to, if it interests them, the subject, they like to read that book. With that, I thank you, everybody, for this opportunity. If anybody has a question, he can ask, or alternative, send me an email. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so very much, Dr. Juneja. For anybody who wants to take further information, on the right hand side of your screen, you will see a handout bag section. I request you to kindly go click on that and get in touch with Dr. Juneja as soon as possible, whenever the need be, he's there. And always do remember, as he says, innovation. Innovation is the key to success. Thank you so
Yes.
much, Dr. Juneja, for such a wonderfully innovative and informative session. Thank you so very much once again for joining us.
Thank you so much,
Thank
madam.
If there's any questions, we'll wait for it in the Q&A section, or we'll move on to the next session.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All of you have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Thank you. We will now move on to the next session. Thank you once again, Dr. Juneja, for taking the time out and joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.